Princess Anne was born in 1950, just a few short years before her mother would ascend the throne. She is the second oldest, and as the monarch's only daughter, Anne has vocally defended her mother in public several times over the years, fighting back against the claims that the Queen wasn't as nurturing to her kids as she could have been. She memorably told BBC, "I simply don't believe there's any evidence whatsoever to suggest that she wasn't caring. It just beggars belief." Royal historian Robert Lacey, who also served as an advisor on The Crown, confirmed the two women grew close during Anne's teenage years thanks to a shared love of horses and fashion. Although reports have circulated for many years about Queen Elizabeth's reliance on nannies, according to Lacey, she loved bathing her children, reading bedtime stories to them, and tucking them in at night. Although they've always been close, they have had disagreements. Princess Anne has been open in the past about how uncomfortable she is living as a public citizen, with journalists commenting on her sometimes less than friendly attitude towards them.
There are probably members of the press, photographers particularly, who have perhaps been on the receiving end of Anne's shortness, shall we say.
Her mother has also reportedly disapproved of her divorce from her first husband, Captain Mark Phillips. In 2019, Anne was caught on camera refusing to greet then-President Donald Trump. She seemingly shrugged in response to her mother's obvious disapproval. However, CNN clarified that her response had nothing to do with Trump and she was not being scolded by the Queen. Still, body language expert Judy James advised Express that the mother-daughter duo appears incredibly close, noting, "Their rituals together suggest a meeting of minds and complementary traits rather than any fond fussing or more tactile displays." Princess Anne shows respect to her mother by not treating her like an elderly invalid, while their shared sense of humor is indicated in small gestures and raised eyebrows. Princess Anne also clearly looks up to her mother. In fact, as Hello reports, she's so influenced by Her Majesty that Princess Anne's first wedding to Captain Mark Phillips was directly inspired by the Queen. As royal watchers will already be aware, the dearly departed Prince Philip tied the knot with Queen Elizabeth in November 1947. When it came time for her daughter to walk down the aisle, Anne also opted for a November wedding. She wore a stunning long-sleeved wedding dress with a high neck, given the time of year would have been chilly in the UK. Princess Anne also wore her grandmother's diamond tiara. For her second wedding, Princess Anne also opted for the colder months, with the nuptials held in December in Scotland. Although it might not seem like a big deal that the princess got married at the same time of year as her mother, it's worth noting that weddings are highly uncommon that late in the year for royal brides. Some of the most recent royal nuptials, for example, took place in May and April. However, Princess Eugenie chose a spooky October date, so the tide may be turning. Princess Anne is one of Queen Elizabeth's favorite people to accompany her on official royal business, according to a Tatler report from June 2021. As the site reported, Her Majesty spent a week touring around Scotland in what was dubbed Royal Week, and was accompanied by her daughter midway through, with photos showcasing the easy rapport between the two. The close duo spent the Wednesday taking part in various engagements and were even dressed in similar colors, with the Queen wearing royal blue to match the Scottish flag and Princess Anne in a grey coat with a pale blue scarf. The royals met with locals throughout Glasgow, taking part in various environmental projects and discussing their longtime goals. The ladies looked to be in good spirits throughout their engagements and were frequently spotted sharing laughs. Indeed, as Hello notes, the Princess Royal has been accompanying her mother to royal events ever since she was old enough to do so, and they frequently match their ensembles for the occasion. This special mother-daughter bond appears to be unbreakable. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about the royal family are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.